Retired Brazilian football legend Ronaldinho and his brother, Roberto de Assis, found themselves imprisoned in Paraguay after being caught entering the country using falsified passports. The two arrived in Asunción and were promptly detained after authorities discovered that the passports they carried were counterfeit. Their attorney, Sergio Queiroz, acknowledged the documents were indeed fraudulent, but claimed they had been offered to the brothers as a gift from a businessman who was also taken into custody. Ronaldinho and Assis stated that their visit to Paraguay was for business purposes, but their choice to use fake documents remains puzzling, especially since Brazilian citizens can legally enter Paraguay with just a national identity card, making the need for a passport completely unnecessary. A local prosecutor later indicated that Ronaldinho might face further investigations related to other potential criminal activities, although the specific nature of those allegations has not yet been made public. This arrest is only the latest episode in a growing list of off-field controversies that have plagued Ronaldinho since his retirement in 2018, following a decline in performance after his peak years. One of the most notable controversies before the passport scandal involved Ronaldinho's charitable foundation, the Instituto Ronaldinho Gaucho (IRG), which ceased operations at the end of 2010. The organization was the subject of multiple investigations over its financial dealings with the local government of Porto Alegre. In 2012, city councilors launched a probe into payments made to the institute, which reportedly totaled over $100,000. Although the investigation concluded with the determination that there was no malicious intent behind the transactions, it didn't end there. 3 years later, in 2015, state prosecutors in Rio Grande do Sul initiated a fresh inquiry, this time claiming the amount of irregular payments had increased to approximately $300,000. However, a judge ultimately dismissed the case, stating there was insufficient evidence to justify sentencing Ronaldinho or his brother. In addition to legal troubles related to financial misconduct, Ronaldinho was also entangled in an environmental case. In 2015, he was fined for the unauthorized construction of a fishing platform and dock along the Guaiba River, near his home in Porto Alegre. After a prolonged legal battle in which Ronaldinho contested the fine, the courts eventually seized his passport until he agreed to pay damages estimated at around $2 million. Despite lacking a passport during this period, Ronaldinho was controversially appointed as a tourism ambassador for the government of then-President Jair Bolsonaro, whose far-right politics drew international scrutiny. After resolving the case by paying the fines, his travel documents were returned. Another scandal surrounding the former footballer involved his alleged ties to a cryptocurrency firm known as 18K Ronaldinho. The company promoted a promise of high financial returns, which ultimately drew widespread criticism and legal complaints as investors alleged it was a fraudulent pyramid scheme. Victims claimed losses that collectively surpassed $65 million and demanded restitution. Ronaldinho's legal team insisted he had no active role in the company's operations. Nevertheless, the fallout further tarnished his public image. Adding to this, his endorsement of Jair Bolsonaro alienated some of his former supporters. Ronaldinho's public support of Bolsonaro, who had a controversial rise to power in Brazil, led FC Barcelona, the club where Ronaldinho had once been a beloved star, to distance itself from him. A club spokesperson in 2018 emphasized that Barcelona's democratic principles did not align with Bolsonaro's rhetoric, although the spokesperson reaffirmed the club's support for freedom of expression. Since then, Ronaldinho's presence at official Barcelona events has become less frequent. Previously, he had earned about €100,000 for each appearance made on behalf of the club. Financial difficulties have continued to hound Ronaldinho as well. According to a report published by the Brazilian newspaper Folha de S. Paulo in mid-2020, the football icon was facing debts exceeding $2 million. Courts in the state of Rio Grande do Sul have since auctioned off at least 4 of his properties in an effort to recover some of the unpaid debts. This combination of legal challenges, financial setbacks, and public scandals has deeply affected Ronaldinho's post-retirement life, painting a sharp contrast to the global admiration he once enjoyed during his peak years as a creative and joyful player who helped Brazil win the 2002 World Cup and led Barcelona to numerous victories.